How's it going, guys? So today we're talking about BMW E90. We're talking about the top 5 mistakes new E90 owners make. Okay, so one of the biggest things is when you go to buy the car, paying more for a car because you like the color, you like the wheels, that's all fine, or paying more for a car if it has slightly more service history. You got to be real careful with that. That can help you buy a better car. But as we know in the past, 9 times out of 10, if you pay more for a car, that does not make it a better car, right? If it has more service history, that doesn't guarantee you anything either. A lot of that is not only if a part's been replaced and you had the receipt, what kind of part was it? Who replaced it? There's a lot of variables to it. Just because the dealership replaced something doesn't guarantee you at all anymore that it's going to be done correctly, that it's going to be a legit part. Depends on where everything came from. The next thing is driving the car as a primary driver. And what I say to a lot of people are, you could drive this car as a well, maybe not this car. You could drive a E90 as a primary driver, right? So you could do whatever you want. If you do that and the car breaks, which eventually it will, you will have to buy parts from AutoZone or O'Reilly's or a local parts store. Then you're going to pay in full retail for Chinese parts. If you have a secondary car, let's say your water pump goes out, okay? You could probably get a Peerberg from O'Reilly's or AutoZone. It's not going to be the $250 you could buy it for off Amazon or eBay. It's going to be probably close to double that. Then how long is it going to take to get it through them? Because they're not going to have it in stock. Or can they even for sure get that? Yeah, there's a lot of variables to it. It's not just that. It's any little thing. You're beholden to buying parts from them and not buying the parts you really want for the price you really want. So you have that. The next thing up is not paying attention to engine ticking or issues. So not only engine ticking, these cars have problems in 06, 07, or early 08 of the cam ledge seals going bad. If the car's ever been started with oil or just higher mileage, that's an issue where you're probably going to need a different engine or at least a different cylinder head. Not only that, not paying attention to vibrations when you're driving. You could need control arms not shifting correctly. There's a lot of variables to it. You got to be so careful not to let the car blind you, not let the paint mesmerize you like this thing. This thing looks really good, but it's been a real nuisance, right? So hopefully by swapping the engine, this thing will alleviate a bunch of the problems. Will it? We don't really know. That'll alleviate those problems. Will something else pop up in the future? Who knows? The next one up is not doing your research. When you go to look at a car, you should already know what to look for, exactly how to go and test different parts of the car. If you don't, you're going to get it home. It's going to be a nightmare. I always compare it to shopping for a girlfriend at Walmart. You go there, the Walmart lights are nice and glorious. She looks real good. Get her home, takes her eye out, takes her teeth out, scrapes all that makeup off her face. Next thing you know, it's a dude, right? It's kind of like buying an E90. You got to be so careful on that. You know, when we bought the Porsche, it was the same way. It was in a darker parking lot at the gas station at nighttime. Looked like $1 million, but I know better. So we made sure and spent the time, looked through everything. Even though it was shifting weird, I didn't notice that on the test drive. But it was cheap enough to where it didn't matter, right? But if I was paying top dollar for that, I would have been pissed if you got it home days later, it was having issues shifting. So you have that. The next one is not scanning the car properly. You should be taking a scanner with you to scan this. You should not only have just a scanner the minimum would be a scanner, Altel or something in that arrangement. You can scan all of the ABS, SRS stuff. You could actually go in and look at modules. Preferably, ISTA would be perfect. Realistically, 99% of people don't have ISTA. They don't have the BMW factory software to scan the car. That'll tell you if the module is bad. What that gets you out of is E90 has a problem with the JBBE, the junction box, all kinds of different issues. They have water ingress in the ECU. They have other issues that may not be showing up the day you're looking at it, the day you're driving it, but might show up when you scan it with ISTA. That'll show up physically down the road. That's going to save you a lot of money. So that's kind of the rundown of things. I'm not knocking the car. There is a lot you have to be aware of to own one of these. And, you know, we saw this real quick. My friend in Chicago, he has ISTA, and he was looking for an E90. And he was going out scanning these cars at the dealership. They all had junction box problems. They all had the same problem. The car ran and drove fine. Some of them had other module issues that you couldn't tell just by test driving the car. And you're not going to be able to tell with a standard scanner. So it is kind of a roll of the dice. If you're going to work on the car yourself, you could bend the rules a lot more on a lot of things in this car. But cloning a module, you can't just swap the module. That's a thing of the past. That went out with E46 and E39. Now modules have to be cloned. They have to be reprogrammed and coded back to the car. And trying to find somebody other than the dealership to do that is going to be impossible. Trying to find a dealership to do it is going to be hard enough. And that'll do it for a price you want to pay. There again, the car is worth $4,000 for a crazy spec 335i, maybe upwards of $8,000, $9,000, $10,000. If you got to fork out $4,000 to fix something on a $4,000 or $5,000 car, that doesn't make much sense, does it? And that's where a lot of people are with these. If you notice, every one of these cars is for sale around 100,000 miles. Anywhere from 80 to 90K, that means they sold it before they started having problems. Or at 130K, that means they've fixed enough on it where they're sick of it and they're passing it on. Most cars are like that. You see a lot of cars, as they have common issues pop up, they want to sell the car at that. They're all for sale at the same mileage. And we see a lot of that. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hope you liked today's video. Don't forget, if you like the video, if you like the new editing, if you like all the new stuff going on, leave a comment. Tell me about it. Leave me a thumbs up. That's going to be it, guys. We'll see you later. Have a good day.